All right, we are back and we're going to jump straight into this video. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is compound strategy numero dos, okay, number 2. Now with this strategy, this one's a little bit different from the original compound strategy, whereas in the first compound strategy, we're looking to grow our account over time. We're looking to compound per day, right, or per session. Now this one's a little bit different in the sense that we are actually, with this one, we're not compounding our total account growth, we're compounding our profits per trade. So it's a little more risky, it's a little more advanced in my opinion, and this is not something, whereas if you're brand new and you're still learning how to trade, if you just got started, you don't yet have a strategy and you aren't seeing consistent profits, I would not recommend compound strategy number 2, okay? Stick to number 1 until you can grow an account and get consistent with wins. But compound strategy number 2, in my opinion, it is a very fun strategy, especially for someone like me. If you're like me, I'm kind of impatient, just being honest, right? I'm kind of impatient at times when I am, I'm done with my 5% per day on my main account. Sometimes we want to continue to trade. Sometimes we want to test our luck, test our skills. Well, I would recommend having a second account, okay? Having a second account, whether it be a large account or a small account, or even a demo account, whereas you can practice compound strategy number 2 on and honestly make some significant gains on a daily basis. Now, both compound strategy 1 and 2 can be found in your HFX Academy in the 300 series. So as of right now, they're in the 300s, I believe in the 320s, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely go check that out. But what compound strategy number 2 is pretty much being able to compound your profits per trade. So every position size that you guys are going to be doing, each position size is going to be growing larger and larger based off of the profits that you made on the previous trade. So for example, let's say you're coming in, you're brand new to this. Now, typically when we're trading binary options, you guys know our payouts are done in percentages. And the best payouts, when we're trading, we want to typically look for anywhere from a 70% payout to an 80% payout. All right, 60 is a little bit low, 90 is kind of rare. So 70% to 80% is typically where we want to go. So for this example, we're going to go right in the middle at 75%. So let's say we're at our account. We got our account here, and in the previous video, I talked about being able to compound a $100 account, right? So if you were doing 5% per day on a $100 account, the profits on that would be $5, right? Well, let's say we didn't want to do 5% per day. We wanted to actually grow our account per trade, okay? Now, very simply, let's just say I have my account and my initial investment, my first trade is going to be $5, okay? Well, if we're doing a 75% payout, all right, on a $5 trade, our profit is going to be $3.75. Okay, so what that's going to do is, if we win that trade, our total account balance is going to be $8.75. Okay, now remember, the power of compounding is being able to grow on top of your previous gains. So on trade number 2, we're not going to do that same $5 position size, because remember, we just made $3.75 on the previous trade. So what we're going to do on trade number 2 is, once we win that first one, we're going to take that initial investment, we're going to add the profits that we gained from trade number 1, and we're going to use that to create a position size for trade number 2. So in this example, we're going to take our $8.75, which is the $5 initial plus the $3.75 gain, and we're going to go ahead and put that as our position size for trade number 2. Now, obviously, if your position size is $8.75, if you win this, your profit is going to be around $6.50. So once again, your total gain is going to be $15 now, right? So you went from an $8 gain, all right, well, $8 total, to a $15 total now. And with trade number 3, you're going to go ahead, you're going to take that $15, which is your initial $5 investment. Now, the reason why, real quick before I even get into this, the reason why compound strategy 2 is very cool is because we're never actually risking more than that initial $5. You see, everything that we risk after the $5 is only going to be the profits that we made for that day. So your account balance initially shouldn't really be dropping with this strategy. If you're blowing accounts, or if you're dropping with this strategy, you're over leveraging, you're risking too much, because we're only investing in the first little box here, the $5 investment, and everything that we put on top of that is just going to be the profit that we're making. So we're only trading off of our profit. Now, once you get to trade number 3, so far you've made about $10, right? Plus your initial $5. So you're going to do a $15 position size. Now, on a $15 position size, 75% payout, you're looking at a $11 total profit, right? So now you have a $26 gain, essentially. So what we're gonna do is, by trade number 3, all right, is that we're to play it safe, to make sure our account is always growing. To play it safe, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove, and that's what you see here at the ICR tab right over here, ICR. Okay, we're gonna remove our initial $5 investment. So now anything that we make beyond this third win is strictly gains, which means we're no longer touching our actual account size, right? So this is why this is actually really cool. Now, what I recommend is, and obviously you guys can see here, if you were to get 10 wins in a row, and I know there's some savages that are gonna be watching this video right now, and you guys actually do, maybe you go, 8 for 10, 8 for 8, or 5 for 5, right? If you guys are able to actually get to that point, well, you can actually double an account pretty fast using compound strategy number 2, because look, even if you went 5 for 5, right, and your total profit, and let's just say $100 account, you have a total profit of $66 in just 5 trades. So instead of doing $5, $5, and slowly growing your account, this is a little bit more of a quicker way to do it. But you got to understand that with more reward comes more risk, right? So a $66 gain if you went 5 for 5, let's say hypothetically speaking, you went 10 for 10. Well, by the end of your 10th trade, that is $1,000 profit on a $100 account, which is absolutely savagery, okay? It's absolutely savagery. Now, yes, the pros is that you can grow an account really fast if you guys get good at your win-to-loss ratio. The cons is that being that we're trading off of our profits gained, that if, let's say, we were 3 for 3 and we didn't stop trading and we tried to go for 5 to 5, well, let's say we hit that 4th trade and we won again, and then on the 5th trade we end up losing. Well, even though we got our initial investment back, which means we're not in the negative for that day, we're pretty much breaking even, we gotta start all over with this strategy, right? Because this $66 that we just reinvested back little by little, we just lost it all. So we gotta start back at ground zero. Now, for those of you who have patience, right? If you have patience and you wanna keep going for 5 for 5, and maybe losing it and then trying again and then losing it, hey, look, this can actually flip your account pretty fast, right? Past performance does not guarantee future return, but you can flip your account pretty fast with this strategy. But it does take discipline, it does take patience, and remember, we're only trading off of that initial balance, which is $5, plus any profits that we gain. So we're only really trading off our profits. Now, this was the $5 example. Imagine if you can make your way up to, let's just say, a $50 position, right? Or even, let's do a $100 position. Let's say you got about $1,000 in your account and you can manage to risk $100 per trade. Let's say you have $1,500 on your account and you can manage to risk $100 per trade. Well, this is where it starts to get good, because honestly, I would only really go for 3 wins in a row, because at 3 wins in a row, we're growing our account about $400 profit, right? A $500 total gain. And honestly, that's a pretty good trading session. $400 a day. I don't know about you guys, but I would definitely be good with that. So once again, we're going to do the example. We're going to do it for the $100 account, 75% payout. Very simply, we initially invested on our first trade $100, right? With that, pretty much with that, okay, we're going to get a $75 payout. And we're going to take our initial investment plus the $75 payout, and we're going to put that into trade number 2. So trade number 2, we have 175 position size, right? We are going to profit $131 off of that, okay, which is 75%, okay, if we win. And then our total gain right here is going to be $306, okay? So we took that initial $100 position size to $306 in just 2 wins, okay? Now, this is where it gets good, okay? Now, I personally will stop at 3, like I said, but you guys can keep going if you want, all right? All right? But we're going to take that $300 position size. We're going to reinvest our initial 100 plus the 200 that we gain in profits, okay? We're going to reinvest that back into trade number 3, which is a $306 position size. And if we win this, that's going to be a $229 profit. A $229 profit, right? So we're walking away with a total position size of obviously 535. If you want to continue trading, it's going to be obviously a 535 for your next trade. But if you want to stop here, very simply, do the math on this. You had a $75 gain plus 131, okay, plus 229. That is a $435 profit. Okay, like I said, I'd be done for the day if I'm just going to compound $100, right? And like I said, this is an amazing strategy. I personally absolutely love it. But once again, this is more advanced. You want to get your wins up first. Stop trying to get rich overnight, right? Get consistent with the strategy. Get profitable with a strategy. And when you're starting to win, maybe 3, maybe 4 times in a row, hey, run it up with compound strategy number 2. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. This is your boy Rico, aka Rockstar Effects on social media. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.